So how will we start it? Hello, everybody.
Alrighty, we are live. Our first live stream. So,
Yep.
we are a little nervous.
He is. I'm completely cool.
Yeah, he says he's cool. Inside, he has butterflies in his stomach. So let's see. Let's get some people on.
Okay.
Says we have a few people. Okay, so we're going to say a few things here at the beginning. If you want to, I see we have somebody watching. So there is what's called a live chat. If you click on that tab, you can ask us anything, and we'll be able to see the questions, and we'll answer the questions. So see, we have a couple. Couple joined right now. Let's see here. Alrighty.
So our topics that we're gonna definitely cover today is what we have got done on the house.
What we got done.
Yes, and what we have left to do, and hopefully what it's gonna look like once we're done.
Yeah. So gonna be fun. Okay.
And questions about our process.
So we have a couple things. So we bought this house in 2019. It was actually before we left overseas.
Yeah.
We bought it right before we went overseas. And we started working on it. Okay, it looks like we have 6 people watching. All right, let's see. All right. So we actually started working. We actually officially started tearing stuff out. It was November. End of September, November is when we started. Because we went to Germany and overseas on May, and then we had our summer, and then we started in November. Is when we actually started working on it.
When we got the house, the first thing we started to do is take out the cabinets and furniture and stuff like that, and got rid of all of that. And then we went through and started taking the paneling off the walls, the drop ceiling.
Yeah.
We have videos about that.
Yeah, well, the drop ceiling, the
drop ceiling was easy.
That was one big thing, but fast improvement that you could see immediately because
it was.
All the old houses have really tall roofs.
They do. Yeah, that's how they built them back then.
Ceilings. And so when we removed that drop ceiling, it really opened it up.
Question?
So I see we have a couple more here.
How long have you boys been doing this type of work? Well, let's see. This house is 2019, as we already stated. Now construction. How long have we been doing that?
My dad has been doing it. Like we've helped him with a couple projects.
Yes.
Projects in Terre Haute that he was working on job sites and stuff, and we were helping him there. So we've helped my dad off and on. So we had a little bit of experience before we started this house, but nothing near to the extent of the knowledge we have now of how to do that.
When we helped him with those jobs, we didn't know a lot. We were just doing what he told us to do.
Yeah.
But now through this house, he's explaining how everything works, and that's a great learning experience for us.
Yeah.
This whole house is actually.
So are we planning on buying another house? Yes.
Yes.
We are going to buy another house after this one, and we're really enjoying getting into this.
We are.
And so we're hopefully going to stay in that neighborhood. We might move to another neighborhood, but we're thinking about buying another house where we are now once we finish this one. So when we first bought the house, it was huge. Like when the first day we were actually there, I was just devastated. Like I didn't even what have we just done?
And after we got back from overseas, Andrew, we started working at the house, and what was the third thing we did besides the paneling and the drop ceiling?
Well, we did.
Oh, the windows
Yeah.
were all covered up.
So we uncovered
we tore
those.
all those out.
The windows, they had fiberboard and an insulation covering the windows because they were so old that they were not. They just that they would let hot and cold air into the
old
house.
Windows were they were wood on the outside edge, and they put little metal triangles and tacked it in on all those sides, and then caulked it.
Yeah.
And
Here's a before picture. There we go. So we've done a lot with the house. We actually lost it there for a second. Sorry. We've done a lot with it.
Oh yes.
Because it used to have that asphalt siding.
Yes.
Oh, I see. We have 6 viewers. It says. I don't know if that's right. Let me check. Yeah, we have 6 people watching right now.
Okay.
And we have Uncle Bean 93. Good to have you on here. We have
Yes.
Connor Townsley, my cousin. He is watching as well. They've
Connor.
helped us on the house several times. And we have a couple other people watching. Good to see you guys. Thank you all for joining.
Yes.
So, I say probably my least favorite part of the house was probably the roof.
Oh yes, yeah. You couldn't walk on it. Now tearing it off, while we were doing it, we were thinking, "Oh, this is horrible."
Yeah.
Once you get that done and you start pulling up all the nails, it's still okay. Your pants are all ripped because you're trying to slide down it and get all the nails and it's tearing up your pants. But pulling those out, we still had footholds. Now putting
shingles back on, we had to put in
the plywood. That was a job because my dad would hold it and lift it up, and then we'd pull it up on there. Then he'd climb up the ladder, toss us the nail gun, and we'd start nailing it down.
Yeah. So my dad has taught us a lot of things on the house. I see Uncle B93 just commented that he actually worked with my dad earlier before we were born in Princeton, and he helped him on a few projects. And yes, he is a great teacher. He has helped us so much.
He has.
We've learned tons of things: electrical, sheetrock.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna learn.
I didn't have the slightest clue. Besides putting screws into sheetrock, I didn't have the slightest clue
on how to cut it because you have
measure
to then score it,
and then you cut it, bend it, and then cut it all the way through. Just things that not a lot of kids our age get to learn. So there's what. So I see somebody asked, what did we take away from roofing? Number one, we hate it.
Yes, yeah.
But that's not really a lesson learned.
I started out with a pair of work jeans, and they were nice. They were well made, and when I got off that roof, the knees were completely worn out, and the seat of the pants were
one thing
open.
that I learned. That I learned was that you can have. It's better to peel off layers of shingles than laying over it, because when we had to tear it off, we have 4 layers of asphalt, and then we had the regular shakes, and they just kept layering over. The ridges were really bad. They just kept layering over the shingles, and what that does is that buckles the house, and it puts more weight on it. So when you peel all that off, it shifts the house. And so that's one thing that I learned, is that when you do it, don't take a shortcut. Don't take a shortcut and just try to lay over it. Yeah. Go ahead and do it right and peel it off.
And the main thing that Andrew and I both learned from roofing is we don't want to be roofers. Ever.
Yeah. And we have a bigger appreciation for roofers.
Yes, we do.
We have a friend that's a roofer. He made a living out of it, and we have a bigger appreciation for him.
Yes.
So what have we learned working as a team?
That there are arguments.
You get a lot more done.
Yes.
When you work as a team.
And when you have arguments, you need to work through them and don't just throw in the towel. Let's see what else.
There is. Oops, sorry, made a little noise there. But when you work as a team, you're not only able to get a lot more done. You're able to learn things together, and at the same time, because you're working as a team, everything you do has both of your fingerprint on it. Like,
Yes.
we did this. You can say that we've done it.
On our first piece of sheetrock to put up, you'll probably saw the video, but we wrote our names on there.
On the
and
back
then
of it.
A&L Builders.
And we
put it up.
screwed it to the wall. And yeah, I don't remember what video that was. We have another question here. Oh, what was the condition of the house when we first saw it? Man, wow, yeah, good question there. It was a big job. It was a big project.
Yes.
There was asphalt siding on the outside, which we actually didn't know what was underneath it. We did not know that there was wood siding.
We thought it was just gonna be like plywood or something like that.
And we thought we'd have to wrap it in vinyl siding. That's what we thought we'd have to do.
Vinyl siding and do it. But when we ripped it off,
and the inside,
original
inside, when we got the house, we had a full dumpster that we just had to empty stuff out of the house.
Yes.
Before we even were able to actually start tearing stuff out.
I think it was a dumpster.
So it was a big project, but
was.
It's come along. I say, can you see this experience as leading into future career opportunities?
To me, yeah.
Yes, I could see how I could enjoy it. Yes, but I am enjoying it now, and I am more into the technology side of things.
I'm more of a hands-on guy.
I'm running all our like the editing and then the live streams, and that's what I do for our YouTube channel, and I enjoy that. But I can see that this as a very good career. Flipping houses, buying flipping houses. It's actually a huge market to be in because a lot of people are in this market. But I want. Let's see if I can get a picture of the house. It might go black real quick. Hold on. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so we are back, and let me get this photo brought in here. This is what the house looked like.
This is what the siding looked like
before we got it painted.
Before we scraped and painted it. Yeah.
You can see that we actually have it partly painted because it's scraped.
The front of it, yeah, you can see.
We have it scraped off, and it's partly painted.
And yes, to those who are wondering, that is purple paint.
Yes, that is a rosy purple.
The story behind that is when we saw the paint swatches.
The paint swatches from the store we bought it at.
We looked at them, and under the light in our house, we're like, yeah, we love this color. And
it looked great on a paint swatch.
Yeah, and we got it, and it looked great, and we put it on. Well, while it's wet, it looks great. And it dries.
It was a purple. And you can see we have the old door is in a frame right there, is the door frame, and the trim isn't partly up. So this is earlier. This is even before 2019 winter. This is before fall. Yeah. This is, So we have all the asphalt peeled off, and we filled it in, re-roofed it. And
as you can see, what we're doing there is putting the, forgot the name of it.
Putting
stuff you wrap
the soffit.
Yeah, the soffit.
We're wrapping the soffit out with that concrete board. It really changed the look of the house.
It sure does. Yes.
It really changed what it looks like.
It does.
And so it's come a long way.
Oh, it sure has.
It's been a super big project.
And with the supporting wall, that we put the blind header up in the attic.
There was actually a wall running all the way down through the middle of the house because the way the trusses were made is they were sandwiched. So they were like this, and the supporting wall...
They put nails.
The supporting wall had to go right here, and when we took it out, they buckle like that. So we put the blind header. That way it'd keep them together.
The blind header had many layers of wood caulked and nailed and screwed together, which just strengthened it a ton to where when
and
we
it
took
kept
that
it
wall
level
out,
too.
yes,
It kept it held up.
and we jacked the ceiling up, took out the supporting wall, screwed the blind header on, and then we let loose the jack, and it settled itself perfectly level.
So it was actually when my dad explained it to me, I was like, "What in the world are you talking about?" Because I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have a couple more questions here.
Let's answer 'em.
It looks like Nolan has joined the live stream.
Good to see you, Nolan.
Good to see you, Nolan.
We'll
He
hear
is.
from you.
We actually haven't uploaded the video yet. It's coming.
Yes.
Be sure to look out for that. It's going to be a fun video where they come and see our house for the first time. So, have y'all finished the sheetrocking? We have finished it, except for one piece, and the piece is like this big and that tall. It's not that big of a piece, but we can't put it in because of the breaker box. We have to finish wiring the breaker panel.
Yeah, and then put the...
Yeah, so the sheetrock is finished. We finished hanging it, and we are actually hoping...
There are a few spots that need to be mudded.
Yeah, we're hoping to actually start priming the inside by next week. So that's a huge milestone. That is a huge milestone, actually able to prime the inside. We're not going to be able to paint it, but yes, the sheetrock is almost completely finished. Nolan asked, what are some of the things you've learned the hard way on this house? Okay, the hard way.
Well, there are a lot of things. Let's pick out one that's the least embarrassing.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see.
There are several things. One is when the way the house was built is even though there is a wall there that may not look like it's supporting, don't remove it unless you for sure know it's supported. Because we knocked out a stud that was two 2x4s put together, and it was a stud for a doorway, and we didn't think it was supporting. Well, we knocked it out, and the ceiling actually sagged.
And Dad was cutting something outside, and we took it out. And Dad walked in and said,
that was kind of nerve-wracking. That was kind of nerve-wracking because the trusses actually sagged. So we had to jack it up and then fix it later. But yeah, that was one of the ways. And then, as you guys saw in the blooper video, never jump on a shovel trying to drive it down into trying to drive it down to get a scoop of dirt.
Well, actually, you do jump on it, but make sure your feet land in the middle of your feet, not on the heels. They'll slip off.
Yeah, as you guys saw, if you guys haven't watched that, be sure to go check out
blooper video 1.
Blooper video part 1. That was fun.
It was. In the attic, when we first took a look at the attic, that was really cool, especially for me. I love just walking up into an attic and finding stuff there. And one of the biggest things there was a box of letters, and it was addressed to the owner of the house, 1945. Yeah, so right when World War II ended, and the man who was writing them was to a lady that used to live there. He fought on the Pacific. He was
the Pacific Front.
Yeah, and he was part of the Navy, and the letters are there, and so I got to read them, and it was really cool.
That's a cool piece of history that
he
actually
also
came
describes
from
the battles that he went through.
Yeah, that's pretty
really
cool.
Amazing.
What has been the most rewarding change in the remodeling? That's actually a good question. Probably the most rewarding change for me was actually walking into the house, seeing OSB on the floor. If you don't know what OSB is, it's a lot of wood chips glued and pressed together to make a big sheet of wood, and you use that as a layer before you put your actual flooring down. To see OSB on the floor and sheetrock on the walls. So you saw no plaster and no wood floor.
Yeah,
that was probably the most rewarding.
The biggest part for me was knocking the last piece of plaster we had to get done. Yeah,
that was pretty rewarding.
And also getting the attic done. We haven't had to.
He was the one in the attic. I will say
he doesn't.
I didn't like being up there because the trusses were pretty wobbly before we actually straightened them up.
They moved, but
of course, it was probably mostly in my mind. They probably moved more in my mind than they actually did. But that was probably the most rewarding thing that we've had.
For me was I had to cut the insulation. Now the insulation was it didn't have the fiberglass in it,
Yes.
so I could touch it with my bare hands and not have a problem with it.
For me, insulation is insulation, and insulation itches, so I don't touch it.
It didn't itch. What did itch is when I slipped and I got a bunch of there used to be insulation up there, and all those boards are covered. Yes, are covered in little pieces of fiberglass. I slipped and my arm slid across the boards.
Yeah.
And covered in fiberglass.
And fiberglass is hard to get out of your skin. What do you think about the electrical? I must say that was probably the most fun part of the house. I loved doing the electrical.
Yeah, except I was the one running it in the attic, and you have to be careful not to step on the wires, because if you do, not only it could yank it and ruin what you just did, you could trip and fall down, which is not cool. I
take that back. Previous question was, what was the most rewarding? The most rewarding was probably my dad had explained to me how to wire a wire into the breaker panel and wire it to a switch and then to a light. And I actually finally got it and did it all by myself without my dad having to walk me through it. So that was probably the most rewarding thing for me, and it was a lesson that I learned from my dad.
It was.
And so that was a cool lesson that I learned. And yeah, I think the electrical would probably have to be my most favorite part of the house.
Not for me. Fun. I don't get a thrill out of the possibility of frying yourself. That's just not cool. But
it's the possibility's there, but it's not.
It's not high.
It's not a high probability.
But
yeah. We have what is the hardest job y'all have done on the house? Rough.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I hate hanging sheetrock. I hate it. I hate hanging sheetrock. Yeah. The best part is sanding. All it is with your arms. Fine by me.
I'm the exact opposite. I hate sanding, but I love hanging sheetrock.
I don't do it with goggles on, so whenever I'm doing the ceiling, my face gets dotted with the what do you call it?
The sheetrock dust.
Yeah, dust.
When my cousins were here, we actually was that our first day? No, that was not our first day of sheetrocking. We had already sheetrocked the living room. No, the ceiling. We sheetrocked the ceiling. Yeah. And so when my cousins got there,
we had partly sheetrocked the spare bedroom.
That's right. Yeah. My cousin Caden and my brother went and sheetrocked the front bedroom, and my cousin Connor and myself sheetrocked the bathroom, as you guys saw in several videos.
Yes, and as you can tell, they did not do a good job.
Whatever. I think Connor will have something to say about that.
Yeah, he probably will.
But it was a lot of fun that they're actually able to come and help us on the house. Yes. That was a lot of fun.
And then we're gonna, as Andrew said, we're gonna post a video where Nolan, Reagan, and their brother Carson got to come and see.
So be sure to look out for that. It's gonna be a fun video. Is it hard to do the house and school things at the same time? I will say it's a challenge, but being homeschooled, it's opened up opportunities
to be able to, on one day, literally, we could just take that entire day, ask mom and dad, could we take this day and not do anything and just do school, which rarely happens. But anyway, I don't usually ask them to do school all day, but we can do that entire week's worth of school in one day. For free.
Yeah, so, and we don't have to have a designated time to do it.
No.
Yeah. And if we want to push school to another day and double up on that day, that way we can get a lot more done on the house on, say, Thursday or Friday, which is our work days. We can do that. Right now, what we've been doing right now is we've been working a half day Thursday morning because it's so hot. We've been working Thursday morning and then Friday morning, which gives us a full day of working on the house. And then we do school in the afternoon, and so that schedule's been working
physically
out.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
Then we go do school, and then we're mentally exhausted, and then we go to bed.
That's my brother's most favorite saying. He says that to my mom every single time just to get out of it sometimes, but it doesn't work.
We're physically exhausted.
But to answer the question, it is a challenge, but it's a blessing being homeschooled.
Oh,
it really is.
It really is.
And my mom being able to stay at home and sacrificing a lot of the time she could have been doing something else to teach us.
To give us our education.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a huge blessing.
And she gives us the math reading, writing, English, science part of learning, and then my dad gives us the hands-on.
Yeah.
The
and what's cool about this
construction
house is it actually helps us with our high school. So
yes, it does.
it helps us with our schooling as well. I figured Connor would comment. He said, "I think the bathroom is the best sheetrock job in the entire house."
No,
I agree. I agree.
Okay, it was done nicely, but we had to use a lot of mud to cover it up. No, just kidding.
No.
But there was a spot where, not to point out anything, but there was a part where y'all missed a nail to pull out, and when y'all hit it,
and it doesn't
it
matter.
popped out the sheetrock, and it put a nice big hole that I had to fill. Shame on y'all.
Yeah. So a lot of good questions. So there's a lot of good questions. So we are hoping to have the house finished by middle of August. We're hoping to have the house finished and put on the market by the middle of August.
Yeah.
And we're going to be putting in some extra work hours on Saturdays as well to kind of push our time earlier. That way we can get it done. But we're supposed to have it done this month. But because of COVID, we had to stop because of church-related things like live streams and making sure everything was good with the church.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to work on the house for like a month and a half period.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a long time not being able to get some work done.
Gave us a long break, but it got us behind schedule.
It pushed us a little bit, but we're going to hopefully make up for it.
Oh, yeah, we're going to make up
and
for it.
We're going to have it on the market, hopefully. We want to sell it. We do not want to rent it, but if worst comes to worst, we'll have to rent it.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do that until
like
5 or 6 houses down the road.
Yeah.
So we can get a little bit of experience behind our belt with the selling process.
Mm-hmm.
So there, one of the biggest improvements, I think.
Yeah. Great job, Connor.
One of the biggest improvements, I think, on the outside of the house would definitely be the paint. But the columns on the front porch.
Oh,
the columns and banisters
completely changed the look.
The columns and banisters really added a homey look.
It did.
It really made it feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just...
The old ones...
I think that made the neighborhood notice that we are actually doing something with the house.
Yes.
Because after we put those up, we got a lot of people coming by from just the neighborhood.
Strangers driving by.
And they were complimenting
really
us and saying it looks really good. So I think that was giving a physical change that they could see that made a change in how the house looked.
Older columns, I'm sure when they were put in, they were nice and sturdy.
They looked nice.
But the base of them was basically rusty powder. So all we had to do is cut the top, then just knock it over, and it just broke off.
But they were old, so it's understandable they rusted.
Yeah.
Yes, be sure to look out for those future videos. They're going to be fun. Have we repainted the outside yet? It is still a rosy purple, but we are getting there. We have repainted the front, and we are working on the... Excuse me. We are working on the east side of the house, painting that on that side.
Because Andrew and I didn't really script it correctly.
He said that quietly, but... Okay, so this is one of the lessons. This is actually one of the lessons we learned the hard way. This is good. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that. So my dad, when we did it, I will say that the painting was probably my least favorite on the outside. My dad was constantly telling us, scrape the house good. Scrape it hard. Make sure you get all of it off. It will peel later. Yes. And we just complain and complain. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's too hard. But...
we paid for it.
He was right. And we paid for it. And so now we're having to re-scrape it.
Everything.
He's having to re-scrape it. I'm working on the inside. He's having to re-scrape it.
He was working on the sheetrock, but as you know, the sheetrock is done, so now he can come help me.
So now we're having to re-scrape it before we paint it.
Yes.
But my dad was right, and that is one of the lessons we have learned the hard way.
Yes. And we found out that it's through spring and the moisture and everything, it popped all the paint that we couldn't get off, but we loosened up slightly. The winter and then spring and then summer with it freezing and drying and thawing, it broke the paint off. So
and there were several areas
Basically
that my
straighten it
dad
out.
told us we have to do, or we're gonna pay the consequences later.
And we took a shortcut.
And
now
he
we're
was
taking
right.
it the long way.
And now we're taking it the long way,
Yeah.
even though we took a shortcut thinking it would get us done faster.
It didn't go as planned.
Do we have a pic we can share of the house before the columns were installed?
I don't know,
Yes,
check it out.
I think we can. The screen's gonna go dark real quick. So with this picture, you can see. Let me blow it up for you real quick.
Yeah, that's a picture of it.
This picture actually shows the columns. If you can see those black columns right there. Let me get it.
See if you can find a
There
picture
we
of them
go.
close up.
See the black columns right there? They used to be old metal or old iron. They were iron
Yes.
with a flower design in the middle. And so, sorry, the picture's a little blurry, but you can see them. That's what they used to look like. And we were, with it being that way, the porch didn't have the support it needed.
No. it
So
didn't.
we
Yeah.
had to lift the porch up and then put the wood columns in.
Yes.
I'll try to find a picture. I'll try to find a picture of the columns now, real quick.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can
Good.
find that. But yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along really well, and I'm happy with the way it looks, and with the banisters on it. It really has changed.
Oh, it has.
It's totally changed the way it looks.
Yes.
And let's see if I can find it.
I don't know if y'all noticed a part in the banisters, but there was one where when it got glued together and nailed together, the support underneath it came out, and it caved a little bit, and it went off. So
There we go.
yeah, there we go.
That's what it looks like now. There's banisters and there are columns, and it looks so good. You can also see the new color, and on the far left of it, you can see what the trim piece on the far left looks like. It has the rosy purple in it.
It does.
And
So
but we
comment below if you think that the new choice of paint is
it's a lot better. I think it is.
I think
Personally,
it is.
I think it's better.
So,
I did not like the
comment
rosy
what you
purple.
think.
But the banisters and the columns definitely change how the house looked. And the steps, you can see that the steps are two different colors.
Yes.
And we are actually...
I was power washing the siding, and I liked the before and after look, so I just did it halfway.
Yeah. And we were power washing off the concrete and everything. We tried lifting that step.
Yes, we did.
But it sank back down.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we're going to have to do is take and build a step over that one, or just lift it up and put blocks underneath it just to make sure it doesn't sag back down. But it's looking good, and it's a huge change from what it used to be.
Yeah, it is.
It's such
And
a
the
big
inside,
change.
it's unbelievable. There was a part in the floor in the master bedroom closet. Yeah.
Yeah, the master
That's
bedroom.
gonna be a
Because it,
back and a half or something like
yeah,
that.
we're struggling on it. Actually, let us know what you think. In the back closet where I was sheetrocking,
Mhm.
let us know what you think of putting a half bath back there.
So basically a toilet. And
Yes,
a
a
sink.
toilet and a sink.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments so we can see y'all's opinions. But that's what we're thinking about doing
Yes.
in the back.
And,
unfortunately, I don't know why. I don't have any pictures. I only have videos of the inside. And
Man.
so
Well, they're on a hard drive somewhere, but
yeah,
we didn't go through it.
yes, I actually need to remember that. Why not take pictures of the inside?
Yeah.
I need to take more pictures.
There was a part in that closet where there was a wall running down the center of it that I had to tear out, and when I took the lad off, I found out that it was an add-on to the house. The original siding was still there. So the parts of the siding that
The
was
back
cracked,
part of the house, the back part that we had to reside.
the parts where my dad was putting in the windows, and he had to tear it out, and all the crumbling stuff. I would take the almost brand new siding and give it to him, and he'd put it up there. So it was a perfect trade-off. So we didn't have to go buy new siding and put it up there and make it fit.
Yeah, I see we're getting some feedback on the half bath. So if we do have the room, go ahead and do it. That sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
Uncle Bean 93. That was
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, it'll increase. Okay. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the feedback. Let us know what you guys think of that, and so we always appreciate you guys' feedback.
Yes.
There are a lot of. We're actually hoping. It's not looking too positive right now, but the lot beside the house.
Oh yeah.
We're hoping to buy that. That was actually taken by the government. That was taken.
City.
That was taken by the city. By taxes, and so we're hoping to get it from the city, but it's not looking too good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just to add a little property onto it, because the backyard is there, but there's not a lot of front yard. It's
no, there isn't.
It's like
There-
20 feet. That's it. It's not that much.
Between the porch and the sidewalk, there's 5 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, not a lot.
maybe it's not that much.
And mowing. Let's see. There between the house and our house, there was a hedge that had grown up, and it was it didn't look too nice. So we took it out. We took our sawzalls and cut it all down. Then we took the lawnmower and did just hit where the grass had grown up real nasty, and we took that out. And then we took an axe and hit it low, so we could take the mower and take the rest of it.
It looks a lot better.
Yes,
It looks a
does.
lot better. But we really are wanting that property, but it's not looking too good. But the backyard is pretty big. It's a nice
It is,
backyard.
yeah.
We're taking almost 3/4 of the trees out of there because
Mhm.
it was really overgrown with trees.
Yeah.
And like
when there are a lot of trees that the sun can't really show through, the grass starts to look it's spotted, patches of grass, and then the rest is weeds. Yeah. So
to clarify, my dad commented, yes, I apologize, I didn't clarify this. We did not lose that property to taxes.
no.
Somebody
we didn't.
else lost it to taxes, and now
Yes.
the city owns it, and we're hoping to buy it from the government. Yeah, we did not lose it. Sorry, I should have clarified that. I apologize. Okay, yes, getting some more feedback on putting the half bath in. Thank you very much. Let's see. There are the back room where the master bedroom closet is.
Mhm.
We had to actually take the floor out of it and
Yes,
replace the floor joists in it because it was rotted.
Yeah, and the wood flooring that was in there had been like steady water leak on it or something, and it had rotted out. And while I was tearing the stuff out and pulling stuff out to toss, I stepped on it. Thankfully, I didn't put my full weight on it, but it completely crumbled underneath me. And
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
So we
And
put some plywood down there, got the rest of it done. And
I
then
think
tore up
the one
floor.
that's had the most accidents in the house is Landon.
Yeah.
Besides me and the shovel, that wasn't really an accident. That was just a funny place in the house. But
Yeah, you
was
recovered
Landon,
from that.
Landon
in a
fell
minute.
off the ladder and jammed
Well,
his
first,
wrist.
when we were taking out the asphalt siding, I got right underneath Andrew where he was tearing it, and one of the asphalt pieces of siding landed like this corner right on my head. I was like, man. And
That asphalt is heavy.
it is, yes.
That
and
asphalt is really heavy.
it's fiber in it or something like that, and it doesn't feel too good. And then falling off the ladder, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and we have with the back room being the way it was, my dad actually the foundation wasn't the foundation needed fixed in the back of it. My dad had to fix that as
in
well.
the back of it,
Yes,
yeah,
because it had sunk. So we lifted it up and put some supports in there
Yes.
to make it.
I don't know if we posted a video about this, but we knocked out the wall because it was a bunch of plywood and we took out a few nails and just kind of kicked it down, and then we were able to lift up the floor and
But
fix
it's changed now.
Yeah.
It
has.
Yeah, with doing that, it actually gave us basically a class on restructuring
Yes,
type
it
of
did.
things. What color paint are y'all going to paint the inside of the house? It's going to
white
be
and gray.
gray and white.
White,
gray,
right?
white.
Okay.
It's going to be white and gray, and hopefully we are going to. I was wanting to put wood trim in, but I don't think. I mean stained.
Oh, stain.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know if we're going to do that or not.
We're gonna paint it probably.
Yeah, probably we're going to paint it. Let's see. Okay, let's see. It looks like let's see here. If you can see the live, please comment back if you can see it, because it's dropped off. Okay.
Okay.
My dad
Come
just
back
said
up.
we're good.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's see here. Alright, yes, we're looking good.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, my cousin said good color options. Thank you.
Yes. We aren't gonna paint the
Yeah,
inside.
my dad said we're gonna paint the inside pink.
I was about to say
Right.
we aren't gonna paint it pink with purple polka dots.
Pink and purple on the inside to match the outside.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. But we're repainting the outside, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we don't need to match it.
No.
Um,
One of the things that Andrew and I love to listen to while we're doing the house is Adventures in Odyssey.
yes.
That is
yes.
a really amazing.
That is an awesome platform. It's a
yes.
good Christian platform.
It is. It teaches a lot of life lessons, and it deals with a lot of issues.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard of
And
Adventures in
mysteries.
Odyssey or listened to them, you can go to their website. I'll have it linked underneath this live stream once we finish it and it's uploaded. Go click on that link and you can get a free 28-day trial, and so you can get access to all their episodes. So go check them out, guys. It's a really awesome platform to have.
It is. Yes.
That and Audible. And Audible is one of my most favorite things to listen to.
There's the YouTube channel that I love to listen to. It is amazing. It's called Extra History, and it talks about, ancient travelers like Marco Polo that went around the world. There is government that talks about the government of ancient and modern times. It talks about pandemics, and
it's a really good channel.
It's amazing.
It's on
Yes.
YouTube. It's called
And-
Extra History.
Yes, and then they have another one called Extra Credit, and that is talking about like regular things you see every day in the city.
And
you don't really know what they're used
It's not
for.
elaborate though. It's just like drawings. That's what's so cool about it.
And you
That's
don't
what's
really
so
have
cool
to watch
about
it either. I subscribe to it. It's amazing.
It's a
Yeah.
good history channel. It's
It
a
is.
good history channel.
I've learned a lot of
I
things
see
from it.
one of our friends that we share our membership with Adventures in Odyssey with says yes because of saying it's really good. Yes, it is. My cousin says that she has listened to some episodes and they are really good. They
are, yes.
and they teach some really awesome lessons. So go check them out, guys. It will be linked down once this live stream is uploaded later tomorrow. So there are several things. We listen to books on Audible. I don't care for read books unless they're like have drama music behind them.
Yeah.
I like audio dramas more. That's what I like. Let us know what you prefer,
Yeah.
read books or audio dramas.
I have an idea. Give your 3 top favorite characters out of Adventures in Odyssey.
Yeah, well, I have to clarify. We are actually, I have a few questions about it. We are not sponsored by Adventures in Odyssey.
Oh, no. No.
We are just promoting them because we love them,
Yeah.
and that free trial is there because of COVID-19. They're letting families try it out. I'll link it down in the description below for y'all to click on. But we are not sponsored by them, just to clarify.
Yeah.
No. Top 3 characters. I like
first.
Eugene. Eugene is me. He loves tech. I love tech.
Eugene's
Except-
geeky and he knows a lot of big words. That's not him.
I see somebody's commented Louis L'Amour. I love
Yes.
their audio dramas.
Yes,
They
it is
are
really
very good on Audible. On
Mhm.
Audible, they're audio dramas. They're not read books. They're audio dramas, and they are very good.
And I've read a
Yes.
few of his books, and he's a phenomenal writer.
Yes, yes, yes. I love Louis L'Amour.
And listening to him, if you look up Louis L'Amour and listen to the talks he gave, he talked about how when he was a kid before World War II, he actually saw a gunfight. He was walking down a street, and two guys came out of a saloon, and they shot each other. So he was writing about things that he actually witnessed, and not everything he wrote about he saw, but he had a really good idea of how it was.
Yeah. I see. We have our friend Luke. He has joined. Shout out to him. He is a farmer, and we enjoy hanging out with him.
Yes.
Good to see you joining us. So favorite characters. I like Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Eugene, Maury, and probably Buck Oliver. Those are my favorite. A lot of you won't know what we're talking about unless you have listened to it, but that's probably our favorite characters.
Yeah.
And being able to listen, and we also we had corded earbuds.
Their favorite three characters are Eugene, Wooten, yes,
and Rodney Rathbone.
Yes, he is
Rodney
amazing.
Rathbone, he is amazing. He is actually one of the older characters.
He is.
Yes.
He also played Mitch. Some of y'all already knew that.
Top 3 Adventures in Odyssey characters. I don't know, Josh. I don't know, Joshua. I don't know about Wooten. I agree with you on Eugene and Rodney, but definitely Rodney Rathbone.
Mine are the Hal Smith, the one that played the first Mr. Whitaker, and then the second one that played the Mr. Whitaker.
Yeah.
And I like Eugene. Wooten is really funny.
Yeah.
Rodney Rathbone and Tom Riley and Bart Rathbone. He was an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
I see my cousin said, I like listening to John Grisham. I've heard of him. I haven't listened to his stuff. Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys are very, very good. I've read the books. I haven't listened to the audiobooks. And then, of course, Louis L'Amour.
Oh, yes. Another character, Bernard Walton. He is amazing. He is so funny. Adventures in Odyssey said that they just brought him in without any explanation. Yeah. And then when I guess the character who played him, I don't know exactly if he passed away or he didn't want to do it anymore, but the character just disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys could tell by now, but we listen to Adventures in Odyssey a lot.
Yeah. In fact, if Andrew and I play this little trivia game, that he will just say something.
Say something that a character
and I'll be able to name who said it, what the episode was, and what story it was. Yeah.
So it's a great Christian platform. Be sure to click that link down below when we get this uploaded. But yeah. My dad says Bernard Walton.
Yeah, like I said,
my dad says Bernard Walton is his
and that's my mom's favorite character too. Yeah.
Okay, Joshua said that he did pass away 2 years ago. The person that played Bernard Walton passed away.
I hate it because Tom Riley, he passed away 2000. The one who played Tom Riley, he passed away 2006, the year I was born.
Yeah.
And Bernard Walton, he passed away how many years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just the characters are, the older ones are having to leave the story little by little.
Yeah.
But listening to things, I think, is is one of my most favorite things while doing there is
Yes.
because we're able to not only learn things, Christian history, no matter what platform, no matter what we're no matter what we're listening to, we're able to learn things. And that and eSword and YouVersion. I prefer eSword because they read with.
I prefer YouVersion.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
He and I, we get a lot that we look alike because, as you can, we wear the same shirts and basically same clothes all the time.
So people will just be walking, or we won't even have the same shirts on. But people will come up and they'll comment about us being twins. And we're not twins.
But eSword, I like eSword because they read with more feeling on the Bible.
I prefer YouVerse for a Bible app, but I mostly prefer just paperback.
Yeah.
The paper.
Yeah. And one of the best things
Bible.
that we've had to listen is wireless earbuds. That's probably the best.
Best thing
that we could get. So we've been going for 50 minutes. So that's it's quite a bit. I think we're going to wrap it up. If you guys have any questions, be sure to ask them now. So before we wrap up, I see. Yes, thank you, Uncle Bean 93. Thank you for your support. Love you as well. Have a great weekend.
Love you.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you. So probably just before we wrap up, the top 3 lessons that we have learned.
You started out with the Odessey. I think I'll start out with the top 3 lessons.
Okay. So my brother, to wrap it up, let's start with the top 3 lessons that we have learned.
Let's see. Well, one of the main ones that stand out is you don't have to always know. Excuse me. You don't have to always know why your dad tells you to do something. You just do it because he has a reason.
Yeah, especially when you're working in an area that you don't know a lot about.
But he doesn't always have time to explain why he's doing it. He'll explain later, but he doesn't have time to explain it right then. So I've definitely learned to just, when he says something, to obey it without questions or asking why this, why that.
Right.
Another lesson, as you said, never going to be over. That's yes.
That's a not a life goal.
Yeah, it's not a life goal. No.
I think one of the main things is that especially in areas that might hurt you farther down the road. Listen to your parents.
Yes, listen to your parents.
I see we have one question. What's one more question? When do we hope to have the project completed? We're hoping to have it done by mid-August.
Yes.
We're hoping to have it done by mid-August and on the market by the end of August.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we're hoping to have it done.
And I can't wait to see it. If there's a way to just fast forward time, just so I could look at the house.
Yeah.
Then when I get back here, I'm like, yeah, let's get it done.
Yeah.
But it's a step-by-step journey.
Yeah.
We're getting it done.
Well, thank you guys for all of you that have tuned in to our first live stream.
Thank you very much.
If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to let us know. If you guys enjoyed it, we might do at least maybe one live stream every month, maybe, or just so we
every
can
2 months, maybe every other.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being able to interact with you guys. I see we have one more question. Are you eager to start another house after this one? Yes. Definitely.
With a good roof on it, so we don't have to do anything to it.
Yes.
Well, maybe if there's a leak or two, we'll fix that. But nothing.
Yes, definitely eager to start another one.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for all of you who have joined our live stream.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Be sure to check out our YouTube channel for any future videos that are coming up. Like I said, we have some exciting ones that are coming up. And if you guys like this, be sure to let us know. After this, there will be comments down below. Be sure to let us know if you guys want us to do another live stream. I've enjoyed it.
I know I do. I want to do another live stream.
I enjoyed interacting with y'all. Yep, so thank y'all for...
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Hope you enjoyed.
See y'all.
Let us know. See ya.